Hi and welcome to another episode of Mr. Puzzle. Today with this amazing looking puzzle here called the Sniper Scope Puzzle. Pretty obvious, right? Made and designed by engineer Bruns, and I'm always excited if he is releasing a new puzzle because he's someone about those puzzle designers that are not only focused on creating great puzzles, but also with every puzzle trying to achieve like the next level manufacturing quality. And this is also visible on this puzzle here. It's a piece of art. It's really a piece of art. Looks like a sniper scope, but actually a puzzle that's pretty complicating to manufacture. We will break this down later in this video in detail. Look at all the details of this puzzle and you will understand that this is really a masterpiece of design and also manufacturing. Today's video is also a bit different because this is not a live solve. I solved this puzzle already. And today I would like to go with you step by step through the puzzle in the first part of the video, and in the second part of the video, as mentioned already, we're gonna break this puzzle down and look inside how everything works, because I think just solving this puzzle is not enough to explain it. There remain a lot of question marks, and this puzzle and the design, work and manufacturing that went into it definitely are worth to look a bit more in detail than usual on how this puzzle is made. And you will agree after this video, it's definitely impressive and very unusual. The puzzle itself is made entirely out of metal. You can see it, except this and this one here. You can see the quality. I mean, the quality is top notch, yeah. All the single parts made on a spinning machine or milled in an excellent quality. You can see here the surface finish is quite nice. You can twist this area here in the front. You can't twist this area here in the rear. There are some knobs here that can be rotated. The task by the way is to free a bullet that is somehow hidden in this puzzle and need to be freed. So I don't want to spoil anything here in this introduction, therefore after the spoiler break we're gonna start going through this puzzle step by step. The Sniper Scope puzzle. Well, if you get this puzzle in your hand, what is the first thing you would try? Usually, of course, you will start to twisting on those knobs. Those knobs will also rotate, but only partially. You can do like 1 revolution roughly, and this one will stop. Same for this one. This is also like 1 revolution. Oh no, it's multiple, okay. And it will also stop at a certain point. You can feel some friction here inside or something, and that's it, okay? And then there is this strange looking plate here on the rear, yeah, which is like a, I don't know, a cover or something. When I solved this puzzle for the first time, the first thing I discovered is that this area down here actually does not remain black, but when you go inside here, and this is a separate ring in here, this one here in the inner side, if you rotate this black cover actually becomes transparent. And the reason for that is there are like 2 layers of glass or of plastic, and it's acting like a polarizer on a camera, a circular polarizer. So when you twist them against each other and the wires inside of the glass line up, it's getting transparent, okay? And this is what happens here. It reveals a mechanism inside which can be influenced by spinning this tube here, okay? And basically what you see here is a combination lock of several layers, and you need to align the holes of this layer. The holes of those layers. So now I aligned the first 2 layers. Now I rotate it other way around, and I will try to find the 3rd layer. Now all 3 layers are aligned, and now I'm looking inside for a specific detail. And this is, at one point there is a small, it looks like a hole or something on the ground, on the bottom. You can see down there. You see this? It looks like a hole with a pin inside or something. If you are in this position, and before you can do whatever you want with those knobs, yeah, and fiddle around, but you will not really, let's say, change anything. If you are in this position and you rotate the knobs, the following will happen. Just listen closely. Cluck. You will hear this noise. And afterwards, I will twist this one again, and now it's free to rotate. Both of them are actually free to rotate, at least at to a certain point. Then it stopped again. However, something definitely changed, okay? Something definitely changed. I will twist it again until there is like a soft stop. And if you look again now here, this is what happened. So this pin, or what was hidden on the bottom in the hole, it dropped out, and it's now inside of the gap of these aligned holes that we aligned before. So next, 2 things are possible. You fiddle around until something changes and this is released, or you discover the next step, and this is about this plug back here, because This is actually a very simple cover. You can just with 2 fingers rotate 90 degrees and then you can take off. Okay, the reason is there are 2 magnets in here, 2 magnets in the cover, so they are attracting, holding it in place. If I twist them 90 degrees, I can take it off. I can even twist it 180 and it will fall off by alone because they are repelling. So now comes the key point in addition to the design in general, why this is called Sniper Scope Puzzle. In here there is like a, and this is very hard to show, like a cross. You see this? The cross has overall 9 points, 1 in the center and then 2 on each side. And you need to now align this cross exactly in the center, and I really mean exactly in the center, by using these knobs, okay? If I twist this knob here, and it can also be confusing because some of the knobs seems to be dead at some point, and you can rotate it and it's like not connected to the cross. I will explain you later also why this happens. I will align this cross now exactly in the center so that each of the points of the outer points is exactly aligned with the outer surface, like so. You can see it here now, it's perfectly in center. And if this is the case, and it's really exactly in the center, it must really be exactly in the center, I will be able to twist this one, okay, for some reason. I will be able to twist this one, and if I twist it and align a hole with this notch here that is now accessible, the bullet will drop out. And here's the bullet. Puzzle is solved. Okay? A bit confusing, right? Even if I explain in detail how to do it step by step, it's a bit confusing how all of this actually worked and is interacting. And this is what we are taking care now, because I have here also a copy that is disassembled. Bruns gave it to me in addition, and with this copy I can explain how this puzzle basically works. Okay, so let's start with the first part here. So let's start to really go through the puzzle step by step. In addition, for a better understanding, I also received from Bruns this section up here, and it's basically a section of the puzzle cut right here through the center. Okay, this is what you see up here. It looks quite complicated, right? And these are the single parts, not all of them. I think there are very few missing. For example, here in the front with the combination lock, the lower layer is missing, this one here, but I think most of the other parts are there. So let's focus on the first piece. So this is the combination lock. It's located here. There's another plate down here, which is, as I mentioned, not missing. It should be in here usually. Okay, and there is also this pin. You can see it here, up here in the section. The pin goes from basically here all the way down here inside through this hole. Okay, so when you start a puzzle, it's basically located like here. The knobs are slightly tightened, so means this pin is held here in place, okay, by the friction of the plate to the pin. Okay, the pin cannot escape this area because it is not aligned with these holes. It could drop in the first one, but it must be aligned with the second one. To align the holes, I rotate the layers. There are some hard stops in here, so I can rotate them until a certain point, and then it will drag it with them. If I rotate in the other side, by friction, it will take the other layer with it. So I will align this one, and then I can continue align the third one, and so on until I have one hole going from the first to the third layer. If this is the case and I loosen the knobs and release the friction here, this pin is able to exit or to escape this hole and will drop inside here. So therefore it's then also visible. It goes through all these holes like so and is able to drop in here, so about here. So first problem solved. The plate is now free to adjust, and this is the crosshair you saw before. You can control it by the knobs. But there's another thing, and this was basically invisible, and it's also invisible in the graphic up here. This is this pin here. This pin here will keep this area here, or the rear, from being blocked, okay? And this pin here must drop out to release it. So in the next step, you need to remove the cover if you want to do it in the right way, because there's a pin in here, and this pin will block this one from rotating. This being blocked cannot release the bullet. Therefore, you need to drop out the pin. You must be able to drop out the pin, and you will be only able to drop out the pin if you drop it in one of these two holes. What I need to do now, it's currently in this position here. I need to bring this point here and align it with the hole of the pin to make the pin drop, and then I can release the bullet. To do that, I need to adjust the knobs and bring this crosshair exactly in the center. When I look through here, exactly in the center of the area. I do this by twisting, and there can be some confusion by adjusting it, because sometimes it's reacting quite fine, and sometimes it does not react. And the reason is, in regards to this direction, there's a pin in here. Okay, there's a pin in here that is connecting the screw of this knob and the plate. Okay, so there's a fixed connection. On this side here, there's no such connection. As you can see, there is like a spring-loaded pin here in this knob, which cannot be rotated, and this is pushing the plate over here. The mechanism here works a bit different because there's a pushback force by the pin, and also it can happen that this knob here, depending on the position of the plate, this knob here, which is coming, or the screw which is coming out of this one, it can leave like the little notch in this base plate. I just want to show it to you because it can cause a lot of confusion and can be very difficult to understand. For example, if I screw this all the way in over here and I screw this one all the way also in, this one cannot find a notch in the base plate over here, and as a consequence you cannot screw this anymore. You see this? So I need to bring this in the center, and then you saw how it snapped in place, and then I can start screwing this one. Okay? Important point if you're struggling to set this correctly. So I set this up now in the very center. It's exactly centered, and now this pin is aligned with, yes, should be this hole here. So the pin will be able to drop now out here, inside here. If it's dropped in here, it is only interfering with this upper ring, but it's not interfering with the hole, as you can see down here. By the way, this notch here is a position that's initially used to store this one here. So it's an additional blocking feature for this one, and it goes in here. So don't be confused about this notch. I'm now talking about this hole for the pin. By the way, this is also slightly bigger, so it cannot drop in excellently in the hole. Okay, if the pin is in, now finally this part here is released. It's now free to rotate. The bullet can drop out of the hole and the puzzle is solved. So now you can understand why I'm so amazed of this puzzle, because I'm not only amazed by the puzzle itself. It's a pretty cool puzzle, and I can guarantee you it looked a lot easier when I demonstrated to you how it's done step by step. If you see step by step, it's always easy, especially the adjustment here. Yeah, it's easy. Pretty obvious. But if you do it yourself and need to find these steps, it's much more difficult, okay? So don't be fooled by the difficulty level when I just show you something, okay? But what's even more impressive on this specific puzzle is the manufacturing itself, okay? So there are so many details. I mean, you see here in this graphic how complicated the puzzle is, how complex. Even the knobs, I mean, this is a detailed view here of the knobs. You can see how complicated the knobs are designed. All handmade. A lot of respect here for this manufacturing skill, okay, that went into the puzzle. The difficulty level, I would rate this puzzle with a level 3 out of a maximum of 5 from a personal difficulty rating scale. From quality point of view and from manufacturing point of view, a clear 5 out of a maximum of 5. This is like top notch, cannot be better. Really one of a kind puzzle design and also one of a kind quality. Really, really good. And to lock it again, by the way, I did not show you how to lock it again. I will align the crosshair again. If it's aligned, I can turn it around. Bullet, by the way, is back in. And if I am in the right position, it will lock in place. Now it will change the position of the knob again, prevent it from dropping back in. So still locked. I will put on the cover, turn it around, and now comes another difficult step, because I need to find the right place where the pin can drop back in. And this is not quite obvious because you don't know. You do not have this detail here as I have now for demonstrating it. So this one is all the way in, I think. So I will screw this one all the way in. Now I will turn it around and I will play with this knob here. Here you can see the pin, and now if I reach the right position, plop, it dropped down. I can lock it in place again with these knobs, but also with the combination lock, so it cannot drop out anymore. Flip the ring again to make it invisible, and puzzle is solved. Pretty amazing puzzle. Let me know what you think about this puzzle, and if you like the review, the breakdown, was it understandable? Do you want to see more like this in the future? If yes, hit the like button, comment below, and let me know in the comments. That's it for today. Have a nice weekend, everyone, and keep on puzzling.